Testing.
I'm gonna take their photos for portraits right this minute.
Yeah, you're good.
Just want to make sure my connection is too much. I'm just gonna be right behind brochures.
Okay, just a quick announcement before we get started. We're going to have all of the student recipients just come here and check in. Just come up here to the table. We're going to verify your certificate and meet with Ms. Redica Stokes and Ms. Vasquez. If you could make your way, all the students, recipients, if you could just make your way to the table right now, please. Okay, we're going to get started now. Welcome, everyone. First, I'm going to speak in Spanish and then in English. Muy buenas noches, estimados invitados, estudiantes y familias. Es un honor profundo estar aquí hoy en representación del Departamento de Lenguas Extranjeras. En un mundo cada vez más interconectado, el dominio de múltiples idiomas se convierte en una herramienta invaluable. Felicitamos a los estudiantes que hoy reciben el sello de alfabetización bilingüe por su dedicación y esfuerzo. Su capacidad para comunicarse en varios idiomas no solo enriquece sus vidas, sino también fortalece nuestra comunidad. Les deseamos mucho éxito en sus futuros empeños y les animamos a seguir cultivando su amor por el idioma y la cultura. Felicidades a todos los galardonados. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the World Languages team, we extend a warm welcome to all present here today. In a world that is becoming more interconnected, the mastery of multiple languages becomes an invaluable skill. We are thrilled to gather and celebrate you, the students, and your outstanding achievements in language proficiency with this seal of biliteracy. Your dedication and hard work have brought you to this moment, and we are incredibly proud of you. Each and every one of you, we wish you much success in all of your future endeavors, and we strongly encourage you to continue to cultivate your love and passion for language and culture. Congratulations to our award winners. Without further ado, let us commence this ceremony filled with pride and admiration for our bilingual scholars. We will begin with a few words by our principal, Dr. Paul Greek.
Thank you, Mr. Reyes. First, let me just express how very proud I am of our students. In 2017, the Arkansas legislature declared the seal of biliteracy and made it an accomplishment that our students could achieve. This really underscores the importance that our state sees
on being bilingual or multilingual. When you think of the challenges that it takes to achieve this, to me it's pretty amazing. One that I have not been able to achieve. But rather through your work and your dedication and your focus, you've been able to take multiple courses and ultimately pass the seal of biliteracy exam. So my congratulations to you. To our parents, just to kind of emphasize and illustrate how much work that our teachers have done, I'm going to give you a few statistics. So since 2017, when the state of Arkansas established the seal of biliteracy, 5,551 students across the state have earned this recognition. 774 students have received the seal of biliteracy in Arkansas just this year alone. And over 10%, 81 of those students have come from Har-Ber High School. So I want to say thank you to our teachers, our world language teachers, for the work that they have done to prepare our students well. And then you think of the assembly tonight where we can celebrate you. Again, we could have done this easily by just giving you a certificate, but I really want to show them appreciation for the work that they've done to make this possible tonight. Would you please help me thank our world language teachers? So again, on behalf of our staff at Har-Ber High School, I want to just say how proud I am of you, and we're excited to celebrate you here tonight. Thank you.
We are honored this evening to have a number of guest speakers with us, and I would like to introduce our first guest speaker of the evening. Dr. Violeta Lorenzo Feliciano was born and raised in Puerto Rico. Her paternal family is from the Dominican Republic. She completed her BA and MA in Spanish at the University of Florida and her PhD at the University of Toronto. Her area of specialization is Latin American literature, with a primary research focus in the study of Cuban, Puerto Rican, and Dominican cultures and diasporas. Other research and teaching interests include film, cultural essays, U.S. Caribbean politics, and cultures. She has published articles in peer-reviewed journals such as CRR, Palara, Chasqui, and Romance Notes. Her book on Puerto Rican coming-of-age novels and national identity discourses was published in 2023 by the Argentinian academic press Ediciones Catatay. In 2020, she won the Best Essay Award from the Canadian Association of Hispanists for her peer-reviewed article on the novel Isla Verde, El Chevy Azul. She was also the 2022 Visiting Professor of Dominican Literature at Universidad de Salamanca's Cátedra Pedro Enriquez Ureña in Spain. Dr. Lorenzo Feliciano is currently an Associate Professor and head of the Spanish section of the University of Arkansas. In her spare time, she enjoys long walks, jogging, reading about and listening to music, going to the theater, traveling, and spending time with her family and friends. Please welcome Dr. Violeta Lorenzo Feliciano.
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank you for inviting me here, especially those that coordinated this event, and Professor Grace Gonzalez, who reached out to me and asked me if I could be here today. I also want to express my gratitude to all the teachers, parents, and family members for their dedicated work supporting the students in their journey towards language learning. But most importantly, I want to congratulate all the students here for their achievements in biliteracy and acquiring another language. I was doing the count on the program, and I see 76 en español. Congratulations to everyone. And I'm very happy as a Spanish speaker myself to see that large number of students completing the biliteracy certificate in Spanish. I was asked to give a short discourse on the significance of acquiring a second language and its potential impact on students' personal and professional development. Thus, I will discuss 3 benefits of acquiring a second language. The first benefit, and perhaps the most obvious one, is the way knowing a second language improves your chances of employment. Recently, Forbes magazine reported that 40% of bilingual or multilingual employees said language skills helped them get a job, and they earn 19% more than single language speakers. On the other hand, 48% of monolinguals feel that they're at a disadvantage, and 85% of the people consulted for the article wish they could communicate in another language. We live in an interconnected world, and the state of Arkansas is part of that connection. Our state has business investments or commerce with at least 32 countries, including Italy, Germany, France, Japan, Brazil, Turkey, and Spanish-speaking countries like Colombia, Spain, Chile, and Mexico. Thus, knowing a second language is important for the Arkansan workforce. I will share 2 of many personal experiences in this realm. During my undergraduate years, I interned at the Puerto Rican chapter of the American Lung Association during the summer of 2002. My duties focused on organizing the library and other educational material. However, educationally included helping at the front desk when people from chapters in the US would visit, and unfortunately, all the bilingual people were absent that day. It is not surprising that even after I had switched my major from microbiology to Spanish with a minor in history, they still hired me as an intern during the summer of 2004. Years later, as a doctoral student in Toronto, Canada, the Rare Books Library was hiring 2 student workers to help classify and catalog hundreds of 19th and early 20th century Spanish plays. I got one of the jobs because of my ability to speak, read, write, and understand Spanish, and because I also had knowledge in Hispanic literature. I mention these 2 examples because although I teach at the University of Arkansas for a living, At different stages of my life, being bilingual opened up employment opportunities in non-teaching jobs. A second benefit of acquiring a second language is that it strengthens your brain. That's right, learning another language is a workout for your brain. Recent research has shown that bilingual individuals have higher density in their gray matter, and that switching back and forth between languages strengthen the parts of the brain involved in problem solving, filtering irrelevant information, and changing between tasks. And I don't know about you, but I speak 2 languages and I often switch between Inglés y Español, and sometimes people say, oh, you're speaking Spanglish. That's fine. There is some benefits to having the ability to switch back and forth. Moreover, it has been shown that being bilingual slows down early dementia and cognitive decline in old age. Lastly, bilinguals have some academic benefits, since they tend to perform better in tests and have better reading comprehension than those who are not bilingual. The third benefit that I would like to mention is the way knowing another language fosters personal growth and connections with other people. For instance, it increases your confidence when networking and traveling. I remember traveling through France and Spain several years ago and trying to use a pretty modern and cool machine to try to buy my train tickets from Paris to Montauban. My French was not that good. It still is not that good. But I knew enough to get by. I was waiting in line to use the machine when the woman in front of me turned around and said something to me in French. I did manage to understand enough of what she had said to me to realize that the machine was broken and was going to take my money without giving me a ticket. I went to another machine nearby and was able to get my tickets there. Not long after, I saw one of the train station employees putting a sign on the first machine saying that it was broken. So knowing a bit of French helped me not lose some of the little cash I had with me that day. This leads me to how knowing another language also contributes to cultural understanding and better communication with others. This is important here in Northwest Arkansas, since roughly 18% of the population has Hispanic and/or Latino ancestry. We also have people that have chosen Northwest Arkansas as their home after different life circumstances have forced them to leave their countries as refugees. But perhaps what is most important about personal growth and the connection with people that learning another language fosters is how it may help increase your empathy. And there's current research that has shown that learning other languages and being bilingual and being in touch with other cultures can help increase empathy. In a world that is so divided, we all could use more empathy in our lives. To recapitulate, number 1, better employment opportunities. Number 2, a workout for your brain. And number 3, connections with people, along with personal growth and an increase in empathy, are some of the benefits of learning a second language. My 2 main languages are Spanish and English. I'm still learning new things about Spanish and English, and the cultures and peoples connected to them. I wish you the best as you continue to explore other languages and cultures throughout your life. May the seal of Biliteracy be the start of a life dedicated to language learning, since you never stop learning a language or learning about a culture. And if you go to the University of Arkansas, feel free to stop by Kimpel Hall 425 to get more information about all the languages we offer. If applicable, we can have you take a placement exam so that you may continue studying your language of choice at a level that is adequate for you. Thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you, Dr. Violeta Lorenzo Feliciano. Motoko Miura holds a Bachelor of Arts and Master of Arts from Akita International University. She joined the University of Arkansas in 2022, and she has taught Japanese language classes and held cultural activities in multiple institutions in the U.S. and Canada.
She is currently an instructor of Japanese at the University of Arkansas. Please welcome Ms. Motoko Miura.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I'm honored to be here today, and congratulations. And actually, Dr. Lorenzo Feliciano actually covered what I wanted to say, so it was great. So I just wanted to add a few things, like pretty much personal experience. So I actually wanted to learn English actually in the high school. I started to feel like, oh, I want to learn more and more and more. I was taking English class in the middle school as well, but it was pretty much for exam. So it's not like I really want to communicate with other, how can I say, people from English-speaking country, but it was just studying with a book. But I actually practiced judo since I was 3, the martial arts, and I had an opportunity to practice with the people from Poland once. They're just visiting Japan, and that time they didn't know Japanese, and also I didn't know any Polish. So actually English is the one like we use to communicate. And it was amazing. We have a different background, but we communicated and understood each other. So that experience made me feel like, oh, I want to learn more. And then I studied hard and hard and hard and got an international university. Was it easy? Like everything taught in English, even PE class, tea ceremony class, everything was in my second language. It was really difficult. But I'm sure you took foreign languages in high school, so you probably had that moment as well. But the hard experience made me, how can I say, stronger. So actually not only in learning foreign languages, but living in a different country is not easy sometimes. The international flight, buying the ticket, second language, if you're traveling, like a hotel reservation, everything. And if you have any trouble such as passport issue, visa issue, those are very difficult. But every time when that happens, I'm stronger. Nothing is a big deal. It's not end of the world. So I'm really, really relaxed every time. So actually, it started with a language learning, but the experience living outside the country and also teaching in a different institution, different country, and then students are all different, those experiences are very precious. So, and also the culture shock, of course, that happened as well. I still remember, actually it was in Arkansas. So in Japan, the food portion is very different. You think it's bigger? No, smaller. And then also like sugar, amount of sugar is also different. But when I went to the restaurant in Arkansas, I saw the hot brownie and ice cream on the top. We didn't have it in Japan. I thought America was genius. So I was really happy, and then waiter came and said, sugar high. I didn't understand at all. Sugar high. I was like, what sugar high? So then I asked my friends, what is sugar high? And then she was like, you never seen the kids getting sugar high? No, because in Japan, like the kids don't get that amount of sugar. But that's a cultural difference, like a phrase and also idioms. Those are all related to the culture. And I was like, oh, okay, new thing. And then you feel like your point of view is expanding little by little every time. So that's actually, well, she mentioned as well, but that's one of the benefits I see every day that in my life in America, that I've never been narrow-minded, but it's expanding every day. And it helps me so much being sort of flexible. Because everybody's different, everybody's from different background. My students are having all different background. Instead of saying like, oh no, you're not doing things right, you're wrong. No. Be flexible. Like what kind of background they have, what kind of maybe likes as well. Like be flexible. That helps me so much. So I hope, please continue your study of foreign languages, because if you don't practice, it'll be gone really easily. Every summer I go home and then I feel like I'm losing it. So please continue. And if anybody is interested in Japanese pop culture, such as anime, game, or music, I'll be there. Fayetteville, University of Arkansas. And yes, please continue. I'm sure it's going to help you in the future, and you will see it every day being bilingual. Congratulations again. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Motoko Miura. Our next speaker is Suzuki Monares. Suzuki Monares is a reporter and anchor for Telemundo Arkansas. She has been serving her community for over 6 years. She was born in Tijuana, Mexico, and at the age of 7, her entire family moved to Fayetteville, Arkansas. Monares is a former alumni from Har-Ber High School and is currently finishing her degree in communications at the University of Arkansas. She began her journalism career at the age of 15 on a local radio station, and at the age of 18, she started working behind the scenes at Univision, Arkansas. Her passion for her community has helped her to join other organizations to help young adults pursue their dreams. Please welcome Ms. Suzuki Monares.
Bueno, pues buenas tardes, good afternoon. Feels weird to be back. Se siente raro estar de regreso en la escuela que yo asistí. Lo voy a hacer en Spanglish para que entiendan los papás que están presentes. So I'm going to do it in Spanglish so the parents who are here will be able to understand. Like, como todos dijeron, casi todos tocaron un poquito acerca de la importancia de ser bilingüe. Everyone touched a little bit more about being bilingual. In my case, like you heard, I moved to the U.S. when I was 7 years old. Llegué a los Estados Unidos cuando tenía 7 años. I did not know any word of English. No sabía nada. Y me tocó ir a la escuela in Fayetteville. I was in Fayetteville and there was no other minority, just myself. And that was in 2006. No había nadie más que hablara español más que yo. Llegué. No sabía cómo decirle a la maestra que me andaba del baño. It was my first day of school and I did not know how to tell the teacher how to go to the restroom. So I just tapped on her, la toqué, and I was like, I did the potty dance. She's like, go, go, go. Me moví. She's like, vete, voy a la escuela, voy al baño. Eso fue el primer día que llegué. Ay, no me gustó. I didn't like it. I told my mom, let's move back to Mexico because I don't understand anything. And I hid my homework for a whole year. Escondí mi tarea por todo un año porque no la entendía. Luego aprendí que era importante aprender el idioma. I realized I had to learn English because there was no other way out. I learned that I moved to Springdale, and that's when there's a lot of Latinos. There were a lot of Latinos in Springdale. So that's something that I would like to touch, like the previous speaker said. You have to be able to continue learning the language, but also not lose your first language. In my case, I know a lot of friends, conozco muchas amigas que llegaron aquí a la misma edad que yo y ya no hablan español. I know a lot of my friends who moved here at the same age as I did and they don't speak a word of Spanish because they lost it, because it's easy to lose it once you start speaking one language more than the other. Es muy fácil perder tu primer idioma cuando empiezas a hablar el idioma que es de aquí de Estados Unidos, el inglés en este caso, te pega más y empiezas a perder tu idioma principal, que es el español. Entonces, a mí eso me ayudó. That helped me a lot keeping my language, because at the age of 15, I was able to start in La Zeta. I know everyone knows La Zeta. I was able to do a little podcast, like you would call it nowadays. Y pude hablar un poquito de 30 minutos, me dieron un espacio en La Zeta. De ahí, thanks to taking Spanish classes in high school and in Central Junior High, there's one of my Spanish teachers here in the room. Gracias a mis maestros de español y a mis padres, pude continuar practicando mi español y no perderlo. Y tuve la oportunidad de ingresar a Univision a los 18 años. I was able to be an intern at Univision at the age of 18. And something that helped me was that my boss told me, do you speak fluent Spanish and do you write Spanish perfectly? And I was like, yeah, yo hablo bien el español y lo escribo perfecto. Y me dijo, okay, pues ven y haz una pasantía. So come and do an internship. And I was like, okay. I did an internship for a whole year. And it was something that I was like, okay, I know how to write Spanish and I know how to talk, but it's a different language once it comes to like journalism. Ya en el periodismo es un poquito diferente, entonces yo dije, pues tengo que aprender. Y le eché más ganas y continué aprendiendo el español a través de la lectura, a través de leyendo el periódico. Mi papá siempre me ponía a leerlo y practicar el idioma nativo que es el español. Aunque llegué a los 7 años, el idioma que tú aprendes es el de tu casa y no hay que perder ese idioma. We don't have to lose that language, because in those cases, first generation, second generation Latinos start losing your Spanish. And I mean, it's so important to keep it. Es muy importante mantener ese idioma porque es lo que te conecta con tu familia. Es what connects you to your family. In my case, it connects me to my community. En ese caso, me conecta a mi comunidad. Gracias a ser bilingüe, thanks to that I'm able to speak both languages, recently I was selected to be the Latino representation in front of the ACD, the CDC from Washington. Los de CDC de Washington vinieron y me dijeron, Suzuki, tú vas a ser la representante de nuestra comunidad latina. Y yo como que, ok, me tocó hablar inglés en ese momento y poder transmitir a la gente de nivel alto en cuanto a la seguridad en nuestros medicamentos, en lo que viene siendo nuestra salud. Tuve que hablar en inglés y expresar lo que nuestra comunidad necesitaba. I was able to express what my community needed in those, with those directors and legislators from the state of Arkansas. And I was so thankful because I was like, thanks to being bilingual, gracias a ser bilingüe, puedo conectar con diferentes culturas. I'm able to connect with different cultures, learn more. And something that I liked about the previous speaker was that your mind actually expands. Cuando hablas dos idiomas, realmente tu mente se expande y no solamente te quedas en un lado, sino que también puedes aprender de las culturas. You're able to learn from both cultures. Something that I was like, se me olvidó lo que iba a decir, pero andaba hablando inglés y español como que uno se traba, ¿no? Pero ahí vamos. Y algo que me encantaría mencionarles a todos ustedes es que pues continúen con su educación, continue with your education, continue with your passion, con tu pasión a lo que tú tengas. Lo que tú tengas tu pasión, eso continúa. Whatever your passion is, go for it and keep learning diferentes idiomas. Continúa aprendiendo diferentes idiomas y conectando con nuestra comunidad, with your family, with your love, de las personas que amas. Ahí creo que ya me voy a enfocar en un idioma para no trabarme un poquito, pero estoy muy agradecida de estar de regreso. I'm very thankful to be back at Har-Ber High School. I graduated in 2017 and I was telling my mom, it's so much different now. Es muy diferente, pero se siente muy bonito estar aquí y estar con ustedes. Y pues nomás les quiero felicitar a cada uno de ustedes por lograr esto. When I was at Har-Ber, we did not have this yet. It was barely starting. Todavía no estaba esto cuando yo estaba en Har-Ber, pero me da mucha alegría ver que ustedes tienen esa oportunidad. You guys have that opportunity to have the certificate and continue to grow in both languages. Aprender los dos idiomas bien para que te vaya bien en el futuro y pues al final de cabo es un beneficio para ti, como mis papás me dicen. No es un beneficio para tus papás, es un beneficio para ti porque tú vas a poder crecer y así también comunicarte y dar esa opinión tuya a esas personas que necesitan escuchar y ser la voz de tus papás. En este caso, no sé si cuántos de ustedes les tocó traducirle a sus papás cuando estaban chiquitos y pues ahora les toca a ustedes seguir dando la milla extra para poder seguir conectando con tus papás y con tus seres queridos. Y eso es todo lo que yo tengo por el día de hoy. That's all I have for today.
Qué orgullo, gracias, señorita Suzuki Monares. We will now move to our final guest speaker. Dr. Ramon Valderas is an assistant director for financial education in the Student Success Department at the University of Arkansas. He is from San Felipe, Guanajuato, Mexico, and grew up in Southwest Arkansas. Ramon obtained his master's degree in higher education and a doctor of education in higher education from the University of Arkansas. Ramon has worked in the education field, serving first-generation and underrepresented students for more than 11 years. First, with the Arkansas Migrant Education Program as a tutor, recruiter, and state recruiter. He has also worked in the TRIO programs such as Upward Bound and Student Support Services as an academic advisor, student development specialist, and assistant director. Most recently, he worked as a trainer, facilitator, and consultant for the Ideals Institute at the University of Arkansas, where he helped nonprofit organizations in Northwest Arkansas learn about diversity, equity, and inclusion practices in their work. In his research, Ramon is currently looking at the factors that affect the retention and persistence of Latino undergraduate students in Midwestern four-year public institutions. He hopes to use his work to create awareness and access for students from minoritized populations, including first-generation and/or low-income undergraduate college students. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Ramon Valderas.
Buenas tardes. Buenas tardes, good afternoon. How's everyone doing? All right, no pressure. I gotta go last, so I gotta make it good, no pressure here. I just wanna start by saying thank you to everyone here for having me. I'm very excited to be here. I wanna thank Grace for the kind invitation as well, for bringing me here and being able to be in the presence of such amazing minds and taking advantage of an awesome opportunity. And I hope each one of you understands how important the accomplishment is. And I want to share a short story about kind of for me why it's important to be able to take on a different language. More important for me as well is being able to kind of find the importance of keeping my language as well, right? So as it was mentioned, my name is Ramon Valderas. I was born in Guanajuato, Mexico, in a small village with no running water, en un rancho, ¿no? And so, ¿ves? Ahí empezó la música. When I was 6, we moved to Southwest Arkansas, and we were one of the first Hispanic families to move there. And as you can imagine, it was just kind of a culture shock. I actually remember going to my first class and crying because all these kids were talking to me and I didn't know what they were saying. And I'll never forget my first grade teacher. Brought him over so I could actually speak with him and understand, right? Also, growing up and being one of the first Hispanic families in the area, it was tough because it was trying to navigate just a whole different world. And I remember actually in the bus being able to actually get in fights. My older brother used to get in fights because kids were mean and they would say that we shouldn't be speaking Spanish and those things. And I remember getting to a point where, similar to Suzuki, talking about, I don't like it here. I don't want to be here. If I'm not accepted here, then I can't wait to go back home. And I wasn't able to go back home until I was like the age of 13. And so I remember like even fantasizing about how great that was going to be, right? That I was going to go back home, I was finally going to belong, and it was going to be great. You got to think that in 7 years what that does, right? I had Americanized so much by that time that the way that I dressed, the way that I spoke, my Spanish was now broken, right? Because if we don't practice it, that's what happens. And what do y'all think happened? I go back to our rancho. My cousins were my best friends, and they're like, what are you doing here? Why do you speak funny? You need to go back to the States. And that was heartbreaking for somebody at the age of 13, right? Because I was trying to find my place. I thought that this was where I was going to belong. And it was heartbreaking because for me, I was just trying to figure out where I belonged. And it was one of the most pivotal things in my life because I needed to make sense of where I belonged at the age of 13. I didn't belong in Mexico. I didn't belong here. And one of the things that I really embraced at that point in time is that I could be the best versions of both, right, of two cultures, right? And part of that was owning my language, being able to speak Spanish and not lose it, being able to also speak English, being able to love country music, right? But then also like rancheras. And so I think the biggest message with that is sometimes in a society that's trying to make you choose one or the other, or even sometimes we get caught up in or polarizing kind of ways here in the States, is being able to see a second language as a way to be able to grow, right? It's an opportunity to meet or the world into a different community, but it's also an opportunity for some of us to be able to connect with our grandparents, right? Whatever that is, I just want you to understand that this part of learning and growing is making you better, and the fact that you're already doing it at this young age is already taking you ahead of the step, ahead of the curve. Personally, one of the things that it's allowed me to do in being able to be bilingual and also be able to read it and write it is that I got to go to Spain. Again, somebody from en un rancho de Mexico to be able to go to Spain and study abroad, that was amazing for me, right? Something that I never saw in myself. I was able to get college credits, and we could probably talk to Dr. Violeta a little bit more about how that works, that you can actually get college credits for having a different language, for speaking a different language, and being able to test out, so you're getting some kind of free initiative from that. I was able to give back to my community. My very first job was actually teaching kindergarten through second grade, teaching young kids that didn't know English and being able to teach them how to count, how to read, and that's actually how I found my love for education, right? And I've been doing it 12 years, being able to help in that way. And another thing that I was able to do is I was able to teach English to out-of-school youth that were doing migrant work as well. And I tell you all this again because it's one of the things that I know has brought me to where I'm at, and it's allowed me to be able to live the American dream and be able to, again, be the best version of me, right? Not have to go full Mexicano, full American, no todo eso. Es really embrace todo lo que soy y ser orgulloso de eso, and being able to also help anybody that needs, and that's something that I get to do at the University of Arkansas, is being able to help anyone that comes through my door and have the ability to also meet them with the same language. The last thing that I'm also working on right now, I'm also trying to learn Portuguese because I want to go spend some time in Portugal and do some things down there as well. In Brazil, and do some things down there. And so, again, I want to congratulate you for taking this step. I want you to continue learning not only languages, but also just life learning, right? And being able to be curious, being able to ask questions, because that's something also, as being a first generation student, when I went to college, it took me like 10 years to graduate. But it was because there was a lot of things that I didn't know, and that's something that us here today are trying to also help you be able to do that. And so in closing, I just want to thank the parents and the guardians here who are here and those who couldn't make it for supporting your children on this journey and for helping them understand that, the importance of a different language and being able to support them in their goals and dreams as well. It's definitely an opportunity that I think that is going to continue to give back as well. And so I just want to thank you for having me. I'm also going to say that in Spanish. Nada más quería decirle gracias a los padres y a las familias que están aquí. Nada más en apoyar a sus hijos. Yo creo que eso es lo más grande que podemos hacer con ellos. En veces, aunque tal vez no sabemos cómo ayudarles, el apoyo es grandísimo. Eso es lo que han hecho mis padres para mí, es apoyarnos, traernos de un rancho de Guanajuato. Pero nos ha apoyado tanto, mis padres me han apoyado y siempre de echarle ganas, y gracias a eso ahorita ya trabajo en la universidad, acabé mi doctorado, pero es ese apoyo de familia que muchas gracias que le sigues dando a sus hijos, y cualquier pregunta para poder ayudar con eso estamos aquí, Gracias, que tengan buen día.
Muchas gracias, Dr. Valderas. At this time, we would like to celebrate the exceptional achievement of a select group of students who have demonstrated outstanding proficiency in not just 2, but 3 languages. These students have earned not just 1 seal of biliteracy, but 2, a remarkable testament to their dedication, linguistic progress, and cultural understanding. We would like for you to just stand when we call your name. You will receive your certificate later in just a moment, but we would like to recognize you. If we could, everyone could join us as we honor the remarkable accomplishment and celebrate the commitment to mastering multiple languages. The following students, please stand up. Andrea Victoria Palma, in Spanish and Chinese, and Daniela Pineda Vizcaíno, in Spanish and Chinese. Let's give them a round of applause, please. Thank you. At this time, as we prepare now to present the certificate, I would like to read what the Seal of Biliteracy certificate says. This certifies that you have successfully qualified for the Arkansas Seal of Biliteracy as approved by the Arkansas Department of Education, the Arkansas Foreign Language Teachers Association, and Arkansas Teachers of English to Speakers of Other Languages, demonstrating evidence of academic perseverance, intercultural competence, and readiness for a 21st century global community. We therefore award this certificate of proficiency. At this time, we are going to read the names of each of the students now and the recipients. We will read all of the names that are on the certificates, that are printed on the certificates, even if the students are not present. So what we'll do is, as your name is called, you'll make your way to receive your medal and certificate, and then we'll have a picture moment with Dr. Griep as well. And so let's begin. First, Murray Acuff. Citlali Aldaco. Kimberly Alonso. Jocelyn Ambris Carranza. Sinai Ángeles. Melissa Baez. Diego Batres. Jason Batres. Natalie Cardeno. Ricardo Cruz. Emily Danford. Roselyn de la Torre. Norma Díaz. Adeline Edmiston. Yasmin Espinosa. Jazmín Figueroa. Fernanda Flores. Jason Galdames Morales. Carlos Garcia. Christopher Garnica. Mariano Gómez. Adriana González. Natalie González. Mariela Guzmán Merino. Alexa Guzmán Loyola. Josué Hernández. Luis Hernández. Valeria Herrera. Jubilee Killian. Jocelyn Lara. Diana López. Erika López. Daniel Luna. Esmeralda Macías. Ruby Macías. Darlene Magaña. Jacqueline Manjarres. Yancy Martínez Pineda. Marisol Martínez Corona. Jared Martínez. Anaya Maxbury. Jamie Méndez. Guadalupe Miranda. Ángel Mondragón Moreno. Samuel Myers. Caroline Netzel. Megan Oropesa. Carlos Pacheco. Mark Palma. Lydia Parsley. Stephanie Peralta. Adriana Pérez. Kinley Phillips. Joel Pichardo. Carlos Piedra. Daniela Pineda Vizcaíno. Brian Polanco Robles. Juan Ramírez Linares. Cristóbal Ramírez. Emily Ramírez. Víctor Ramírez. Gio Rivera Vega. Irene Rivera. Abraham Rodríguez. Jorge Rodríguez. Victoria Rojas. Carla Rugamas. César Sáenz. Ashley Salgado. Stephanie Sánchez. Brian Sandoval Hernández. Ivy Sandoval. Cindy Soto. María Torres. Stephanie Valle Jiménez. Dulce Vargas. Andrea Victoria Palma, dual certificate. Pedro Vite. Rebecca Walden. Natalie Zamora. Please give all these recipients your warm round of applause. Congratulations. So as we draw this inspiring ceremony to a close, we extend our heartfelt congratulations once again to all of our Seal of Biliteracy recipients. Your achievements are a testament to your hard work, dedication, and the support of your teachers, families, and community. As we conclude this formal part of the event, we invite you to continue celebrating with refreshments generously provided by Har-Ber High School, the PTO, and World Languages. Please join us here in the cafeteria for refreshments. We can further celebrate the accomplishments of our students, foster connections within our diverse community. Thank you all for joining us tonight. Buenas noches y hasta pronto. Tenemos refrescos y meriendas aquí al lado. And you can come up here and take pictures if you'd like as well. You're welcome to do so.